What's up? It's Phil from Football Exposed, and today we got the part 3 of 6 things that novices shouldn't have to worry about. Now, I'm extremely happy today to share this information with you guys because obviously I made dozens and dozens of mistakes as a novice, and I'm still even making some mistakes till this day. But I just want you guys to learn from my novice experiences so you guys don't have to repeat the same thing. And hopefully, when you guys reach the intermediate or advanced stages, you guys can even preach a lot of my philosophies and tips to the upcoming novices. So it'll be happiness all around. No one will have to go through all the same struggles I went through, and everyone's going to make quicker progress. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that novices shouldn't have to worry about right now, in my opinion, is lifting gear. Now, lifting gear, I understand a lot of intermediates and a lot of advanced guys are using a lot of belts, straps, wrist straps, elbow sleeves, and all this stuff is good. I'm not anti-gear, and everything has its place. But what I'm saying is that if you're a novice lifter, you shouldn't be using straps for your 225 barbell row or your 315 pound deadlift. Or you shouldn't be using wrist wraps when you're benching 135. Or you shouldn't be using knee sleeves if you're squatting like 225. In my opinion, you'd be better off using all this kind of stuff when you're intermediate or even advanced. And even at that, it's not even mandatory. There's a lot of advanced lifters who don't even believe in belts, don't believe in straps. All they use is chalk. So it's not so black and white. What I'm trying to say is that you don't have to use any of this stuff when you're a novice. All I would recommend is you use chalk, chalk up your hands. You could do your deadlifts like that, but you need to build your grip strength first before you start using straps. And also you need to build up your core strength first before you start using a belt, especially if it's very lightweight. Because keep in mind that when you reach the intermediate stage, and even into the advanced stage, if you even get there, and you've been using a belt since day one when you're a novice, then what else you're going to use once you get to the advanced stage? It's going to be a lot harder. As opposed to a guy who, he didn't use any gear or any lifting equipment when he was a novice. He maybe used a little bit when he was intermediate, and then he started using it when he was an advanced lifter. He's going to be a lot better off, in my opinion. Okay, so the second thing that novices shouldn't have to worry about right now is trying to do certain lifts right off the bat. Because there's a lot of lifts that require a lot of full body awareness, flexibility, mobility, and all that good stuff. And some examples of these lifts would be snatch grip deadlifts, sumo deadlifts, and very wide stance squats. A lot of lifts of that nature. If you look at the pattern, a lot of novices actually can't get away with doing these exercises without getting injured because they don't have these 3 things down packed. So a lot of novices, if they were to just come into the gym and they never trained a day in their life before and they tried to do a very wide stance squat, a lot of these novices might actually tear their groin just in the first workout because they're not used to having their hips in such a wide position. Or some novices may actually hurt the lower back from doing a real snatch grip deadlift because they don't have the adequate amount of hip mobility, so they're going to end up rounding too much. And you guys get the point. So in my opinion, you're better off just working up to these variations over time by gradually taking baby steps. So if you're doing a snatch grip deadlift, or if you want to do a snatch grip deadlift, start off with conventional if you could even do it. And then over time, you just widen out your grip. Or same thing can apply for sumo deadlifts. You can start off with some conventionals, and then just over time, just widen out your stance more and more, and then you'll eventually get to it. Okay, so the third thing the novices shouldn't have to worry about right now, and this is my favorite one out of the whole series, it's touch and go reps along with bouncing reps. Because if you recall in my older videos, even my newer videos, I keep talking about when you're a novice, the main goal should be to build muscle, get stronger, stay injury free, improve your technique, and just get more fluent with the movements and just get the movement pattern down by doing it more often. That basically sums up what you want to do as a novice. But if you're constantly practicing touch and go reps along with bouncing reps, which most novices actually get wrong, by the way, the technique basically just goes to shit. So if you look at a lot of novices doing heavy deadlifts for what they could do, you're going to notice that when they do it in the touch and go style, maybe after, and they're doing 5 reps, after the second reps, the technique just goes to garbage. And if you're doing, 3 sets of 5 on deadlifts or like a couple sets, you're gonna notice that over time, if you just keep practicing the touch and go stuff, you're just ingraining the wrong movement patterns from the get-go, and it's just not the right habit that you want to get into. Whereas if you take the guy who's doing more dead stop reps and he's resetting on every rep, and when he's benching, he's not just bouncing it off his stomach, he's actually not pausing, but he's using the strength of his pecs, his triceps, his shoulders to actually get the weight up. He's going to be a lot better off because he's actually practicing the right movement patterns, and he's going to have a lot less sticking points in the future. Okay, Okay, so just to clarify, I'm not anti touch and go reps. I think they definitely have their place, especially if you're more advanced and you have a lot more full body awareness. And even bouncing reps, bouncing a weight off your stomach, it may even have its place too. What I'm trying to say is that when you're a novice, you should be using the strength of your muscles as opposed to just relying on the floor just to bounce weight off, or your gut just to bounce the weight off. Okay, so the fourth thing that novices shouldn't have to worry about right now is super high rest periods, because I know a lot of novices are looking up to a lot of advanced lifters, and a lot of advanced lifters who are lifting, let's say they're pulling 700 off the floor, drug-free or not. You're gonna notice that a lot of these guys are waiting very long between sets. Some of these guys are even waiting, 5-6 minutes, and this is because the sets are very taxing, and even the later warm-up sets are taxing. So it takes a lot more time to recover from set to set. But on the other hand, if you're a novice lifter and let's say you're deadlifting 2.5 plates, it's not necessary to wait 5 or 6 minutes to copy what these other guys are doing, because in my opinion, when you're a novice lifter, you want to work on your work capacity too, which a lot of beginners don't have. So what you could do instead is try your best over time to really narrow down and bring down your rest periods. So even when you're doing your heavy work for what you can handle, you could wait 2 minutes, maybe 2.5 minutes max, but there's no way that you should be waiting 5 minutes, because what's going to happen is that when you get more and more advanced, you're going to need more and more time to rest. And then when you get to the intermediate stages, you're probably going to need 5-6 minutes, just like those advanced guys were using. And then when you even get to the advanced stage, if you even get there, you're probably going to require 10 minutes. So what you want to do instead from the get-go is just improve your work capacity from the start. So just a general rule of thumb, when you're doing your heavy compound lifts and you're a novice, for what you could handle, you could wait maybe 1.5 minutes to maybe 2.5 minutes max. And then on your assistance lifts and maybe your isolation lifts, your pump work, you could wait 1 minute, 45 seconds or something like that. Okay, so the fifth thing that novices shouldn't have to worry about right now is lifting with very advanced exercise tweaks. So what do I mean by this? Well, if you look at a lot of elite pullers, whether drug-free or not, you're going to notice that a lot of these guys are more on the advanced side, and they're doing a lot of their pulls with a rounded upper back. But if you were to take a novice and tell them to round their upper back while they deadlift, you're going to notice that they'll get injured right away because they don't have the full body awareness to do so. And a lot of these advanced guys, they pull with the rounded upper back because it's going to reduce the range of motion, it's going to maximize their leverages a bit more, and a lot of people could just get away with it. But if you're a novice, and even if you're an intermediate lifter, chances are you're not going to get away with that because you don't have the experience under your belt to do something like that. So what you're better off doing if you're an intermediate or even a novice lifter is just doing the lift the regular way, and then once you get to the advanced stage, it's optional, but you could start experimenting with different lifting styles. But for now, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so the sixth thing that novices shouldn't have to worry about right now, in my opinion, is excessive amounts of coffee and excessive amounts of pre-workout. Now, I'm not anti-coffee, I'm not anti-pre-workout. There's good brands out there. But generally speaking, if you look at guys like Eric Bugenhagen, if you look at JJ Anderson, which I recommend you subscribe to his channel, it's That Damn Gym, he has an amazing channel. You look at those guys, you notice that the coffee gives them that edge. But they haven't been using coffee since day one. They gradually worked up to it, and now they're using a lot of coffee because it just gets them more psyched up and they just hit big PRs. But if you're a novice lifter, you're squatting 135 and you're already drinking 3 cups of coffee before you work out, what's going to happen later on? You're just going to require more and more to get that same effect. And if you don't have your coffee, let's say you forgot it at home and you don't have any coffee, you're going to go crazy. So in my opinion, you're better off building a base, building a foundation of no pre-workouts and no coffee whatsoever in most cases. And then if you get more to intermediate or advanced stages, then you could start using a bit. But even at that, it's very optional, and this is just my opinion. Yeah, so there you guys have it. This is the part 3 of my series, 6 things the novices shouldn't have to worry about right now. So after watching part 1, 2, and 3, I want to know from you guys, are there any things that I missed? And if so, let me know in the comment section below. And if you guys want a part 4, I'll definitely deliver. And overall, I'm just happy that I got to share these messages with you, because if I would have saw this video or this whole series maybe a couple years ago, it would have saved me so much trouble. So I'm just really happy that I got the chance to share this with you guys. So let me know in the comment section below if you have any more comments, and with that, I'll see you guys in the next video.